Hey guys, it's Charlene. Today I'm going to show you how to make this fun lemonade shaker card using some of the products from the new release. I'm actually using a previously released product for the background. I'm starting out here with the Plumeria Flowers 6x8 stencil. Really beautiful. I've got some of the bright rainbow paper pouncers. These are so awesome for stencils. And I'm using some pretty pink ink here, and I'm just going to go over all of the flowers in the stencil. So I'm not worried here about kind of any blending over the different areas of the stencil. It's going to look gorgeous. This is just going to go as a background. So you can see I'm kind of squeezing the sponge on my paper pouncer, and that's just so I can make it into a little better shape on the florals. And I'm doing sort of darker towards the center and then fading it out as I go up the petal and out to the outer rim. So once I get all of the flowers done, I'm going to come in with a yellow-green ink here to do all of the leaves. And the reason I'm using more of a yellow-green is because I know on those areas where the pink and this color are combining, I'm going to get more of an orange color rather than any kind of muddy brown color. And that's part of the reason I'm not worried about the overlap here. So you can see there's a couple of little areas where I've got some orange showing up between those two, and I actually really like how that looks. Now I'm coming back in with my pouncers again with a really light amount of ink just to tone down some of the white space from where the stencil was. This is not a required step. It looks nice without this as well. It just depends on kind of what look you're going for. So once I went back over everything a little bit with those pouncers, I was able to then get started on the shaker portion of the card. So I'm going to use the lemonade shaker die, and there are a ton of different shaker drink dies that just came out in the release, and they are really cool. You can see I'm taking the outer part of the die and then the insert, and I'm taping those so that there's even amount of space all the way around. So that's what's going to give me my front shaker piece. I just went ahead and put some double-sided tape on the back of that, and then I'm adding a little piece of acetate here onto that. You can disregard that piece up in the left-hand corner. I originally thought I wanted to just put a background that had been colored with yellow Copic marker, but I decided instead that I wanted to use the fun inset piece that has those ice cubes already built in, and I'm coloring it here with yellow ink using my yellow paper pouncer. And this works great. So fast and easy to get whatever color you want just by using the pouncers on your cardstock. Once I get it to the color I like, I can go ahead and glue this down onto a piece I cut out off camera. I cut out the outer portion, the outline, so that it's the full shaker piece without missing anything. You can see there. And I'm just going to glue a little part of it down at first because I want to make sure that it lines up well. So you can see I'm putting the cover over the top. I like how it looks. So now I can go ahead and add some glue to all the rest of it and get it nice and glued down. Now, this is another kind of choice here. I decided I wanted to inlay the white ice cubes. You also could put like a light blue ice cube or something like that if you wanted to, or you could draw with a marker or a colored pencil, maybe some little cracks in the ice cube. I think that would be really cute too. I just used the white pieces that were from when I cut it out, and I'm just laying them in there. I've put some glue in the spots to hold it in, and I'm just making sure to get them nice and pressed down in there so that they are flat and level. Now I'm going to use the cutest sequin mix. This is the Zesty sequin mix. It's so cute. It's got these little lemon and lime slices in it. And if you want just lemons, you can pick out the limes or vice versa. And there are several other really cute sequin mixes out right now. There's one with oranges and one with bananas, one with strawberries, so definitely check those out. So I took the release tape off of my adhesive foam that I had going all the way around the edge, and then I just glued that right on top. Now I'm going to be using one of the brand new white paper pouncers. I was so excited that these came out, and I've just got my embossing ink refill. You can do this with either a refill or your embossing ink pad. You do want to make sure your ink pad's a little bit juicy. So for me, it's just easier to kind of squeeze out a little bit of my refill onto my glass mat there, and I can just pick it right up, and I can cover whatever I want to do with embossing ink. So if I was going to use this with a stencil, it would work really well. I could just pounce the embossing ink right over a stencil. Here I wanted to do it over the die cut straw that comes with the lemonade shaker die set. And then I'm going to heat emboss it with some silver embossing powder. So I get kind of a silver metal straw in the drink. I thought it was a fun little addition. So I just cover everything there with the embossing powder, and then I can melt all of the embossing powder in there. And the nice thing about using the paper pouncers to apply the embossing ink is that you get really nice coverage, and it's not nearly as messy as trying to smush your ink pad onto a die cut piece. It just works so much better. Love it. So now I'm going to kind of make a little slit and push back the foam so I can get my straw on the inside there. You could do this before you put the shaker top over, but I find it easier just to add it afterwards. For my sentiment here, I'm using the Make It Dirty stamps and dies. These are so fun. A lot of cute little drink sentiments, but they're not all drink related. Like one of them says something along the lines of "you bring sweetness to my day" or things like that. So really fun set. These could definitely be used for lots of different occasions, birthdays, just because, thank you, stuff like that. So I'm going to heat emboss this with some white embossing powder. You saw I've got some black cardstock here, and I just put down anti-static powder tool, stamped out the sentiment with my embossing ink, and then added my embossing powder over the top here. And I'm going to melt it now here with my heat gun. Once everything's melted, I can go ahead and cut it out with the coordinating die, and then I can get my card put together here. So you can see I've cut down that stenciled piece from the Plumeria flowers stencil, and I've cut it down and I'm gluing onto a black matting layer. So I get a nice thin black border all the way around, and then I'm just gluing it to the front of my A2 size card. So it's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And then I can glue down my whole shaker piece to the front of the card, and I'm just being careful to make sure I get glue also on any little pieces, that I have coming out the top there. And then I can just put my sentiment right over the top of the shaker. I love how this looks. It's so fun. So you could do lots of different kinds of drinks, even though this is called the lemonade shaker die. It's just, a mason jar. So you could pretty much make any kind of drink be in this shaker die. I love that so much. Added a little bit of foam underneath each side, so that way my sentiment would be fully supported, and that's going to finish off the card. All right, guys, please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell, so that way you will get notified about future videos here on the Picket Studios YouTube channel. Also, head over to Facebook and check out the Picket Studios community page. Lots of fun stuff over there and lots of inspiration. I hope you guys have a fantastic day.